Hello, everyone, and Happy New Year! Well, it looks like 2018 is starting off with a bang with some vegan stories in the news. Uh, this one's not a good one. You've probably heard of this by now, and if you haven't, that's why I'm doing this video. And let's just give me some feedback. What do you think about this? But a chef in England has boasted about spiking a vegan group's meal with some meat, and this happened. This article came out January 1st, and of course, social media has been a buzz about it. The restaurant is Carlini Italian Restaurant in the UK. In I can't remember Shropshire. It's hard to say some of these words. Anyway, so it says a restaurant here has been flooded with one-star reviews after its chef appeared to boast about spiking a vegan group with meat, and the chef, what's her name? His chef is Laura Goodman. She posted on her Facebook page something about a group of pious judgmental vegans who had booked to eat there on Friday night, and this is her quote here: "Pious judgmental vegan who I spent all day cooking for has gone to bed still believing she's a vegan," Goodman wrote early in the morning hours of Saturday. So obviously this has led people to say, well, what the heck is she talking about? If someone thinks they're still a vegan, that means you did something to make sure that they were not a vegan. And really the whole point of her action is an attack on veganism, but the question becomes, why are some people so triggered by vegans? You're a chef. People come in with all kinds of requirements for eating, whether it's gluten-free, whether it's no shellfish, whether it's vegan options, no dairy, and why are you so offended by a group that wants to eat a vegan meal? As a vegan, I completely understand when people say that, I say I'm vegan and suddenly you hear people say that you think you're better than they are, and you never utter those words. But something is certainly triggered in a meat eater, and to me, I think it is the fact that they know that if other people can survive eating a vegan diet, so can they. And in their minds, there must be some level of guilt that they have to attack us vegans. Because otherwise, they'd say, okay, sure, you know what? I don't think you're pious because you're choosing a vegan diet and I'm not. They wouldn't say all these stupid things that they say, that we have to eat meat, that we've got canines, like we've got all this crap. I heard a whole host of nonsense over the Christmas holidays, by the way, so talk about being triggered. But this kind of behavior is completely unprofessional, not to mention downright possibly dangerous. She has no clue what kind of allergy someone could have, and she could have sent someone to hospital or to a grave. So here, the article continues. When commenters asked her if this meant she'd put non-vegan food in the group's meal, she said, actually, I should have said they're not vegan, not she's. So it's even better in her mind. Not only has she, gotten something won over on the pious judgmental vegan. When would the judgment come in here, by the way? Like, what did she actually say? She got it on the entire group. So it started with me asking to telephone them over Christmas to discuss the dietary requirements of the guests within a set time frame, and ended with me wondering why I'm explaining this simplistic post to a pious CUNT. I mean, why is this woman so triggered? I've shared my theory. You can share yours. In any case, she then adds afterwards, in the same Facebook post, she spiked a vegan a few hours ago. Now, this woman is akin to all those idiots who go out there and post themselves, like take videos of themselves assaulting people and posting it to social media thinking, ha ha ha, isn't this funny? And instead they get arrested. Because if she did this, why did she post about this? I mean, what did she expect was going to happen? That all the meat eaters who also hate vegans would just give her a good pat on the back? Well, of course, she's rightly gotten lots of outrage. You can take a look at some of these comments or look up the articles. You'll see people like meat eaters as well are like, this is disgusting. One person said, you feed vegans who have trusted you and presumably paid for their meals non-vegan food, boast about it on social media in a group that represents quite a broad cross-section of society, and get roundly chastised. You then decide that the problem must be with all the people in the group rather than your own reprehensible behavior. And someone else said, I'm not a vegan, but if someone was, I would never feed them non-vegan. I am a fox hunting Tory, but your behavior is despicable. And it goes on to show lots more disappointed and disgusted comments. Well, of course, you can imagine what happened next. Poor chef Laura Goodman has apparently received some death threats. So as you see here, the restaurant chef had called in the police after receiving death threats for boasting about spiking a vegan's group meals. She apparently apologizes, and her fiance says maybe she had too much to drink. Now they're trying to say that this is likely that this didn't happen. She was just joking. However, I sincerely doubt that. It feels completely like the kind of thing you would say once you realize that your happy joke for meat eaters resulted in very unhappy press and some scathing opinion. So she says she spent hours preparing special meat, dairy, and egg-free dishes for the party at the Italian restaurant, but she was disappointed when one of the group ignored her efforts, oh poor thing, and ordered a pizza topped with mozzarella, which is not vegan-friendly, off the normal menu. So you can't change your mind and say, hey, I'll have this, but please take the dairy off. Not for poor Laura Goodman, this chef who feels she's superior to everyone else. So here we go. There's just more. Someone said, you sound proud of this behavior. Have you seen your Google reviews? Disgusting behavior. So, yeah, people have gone on to TripAdvisor, and now there's a few other posts like this one. Beware, she might poison you. And this is going to be, I can imagine, horrible press for the restaurant. This could be the single worst thing she's done for her business. I don't know if she's an owner in the restaurant, but good luck still working there, or be prepared for your restaurant to probably have to close its doors because of your inconsiderate and disgusting behavior. So it says here that her partner, I believe her partner is Michael Gale, says she's been left feeling almost suicidal by the reaction, and police were called to the restaurant yesterday because of threats. He said Laura loves cooking vegan and vegetarian food because it challenges and there is complexity to it. She came up with some recipe ideas so they would have more choice than the 2 or 3 items on our standard menu. Sure, sounds great, doesn't it? Until she posts that she spiked vegans' food and they think they're vegan, but they're not. Ha ha ha. She went off and bought the ingredients for those dishes, and on Saturday they showed up, and quite within their right, they chose dishes off the regular menu. One of them ordered a margarita pizza. Oh my god, the horror. Laura said that if you're a vegan, you'd know that mozzarella is not vegan, so she's slightly disappointed that they hadn't chosen to have what she prepared for them, and amused that they thought that the pizza that they had, whatever. It sounds as though they somehow thought the pizza was vegan. I guarantee you, a vegan who has dairy cheese on a pizza knows it's not vegan, so something doesn't quite make sense there. Anyway, here are some pictures of Miss Goodman, and I just don't understand why she would do this. Obviously, she's backtracking. I mean, I would do that too, but I would never do anything like this. The essential story is some vegetarians and vegans went to a restaurant, had vegetarian and vegan food, and left. We don't even know if the person that ordered the pizza was vegan. She could have been vegetarian. Well, let's say she was. I mean, we don't know what the story was, and if the person ordered something that wasn't vegan and they knew that, that's fine. But Laura Goodman boasted about this pious group, she said, not being vegan anymore. So her story to the police and her subsequent story seems like it's a whole bunch of hogwash to me. Anyway, this is the gist of it. You guys can take a better look and read some of these articles if you want. This one shows that there are like over 4,000 comments, at least on one of these articles. It's always fun to read the comments, but I think I'll leave it at that. This is the gist of the story. Yeah, there's 4.8 thousand comments. I love looking at some of these comments. Yeah, she was very silly to post the comment, but for people to issue death threats is just as unacceptable. Well, you know what? I'm not saying death threats are okay, but it's to be expected. People typically issue death threats when they're mad, and people don't follow through with it. She probably suffered from a cerebral malaise and should no longer be allowed to function in the food preparation. That's my thing, too. I think she should no longer be able to be a chef. I think if she did do that, this is reprehensible. Again, she could have killed someone or sent someone to hospital with serious injury, all because of her disdain, clearly, for vegans. Just because she's not able or willing to make the choice, and clearly it's she feels some level of guilt for that. I can't understand it otherwise. But I've rambled enough, guys, and that's all for now. Let me know what you think, and see you in the next video. Got more to say. There's some other good news that's happening right now in the plant-based world. We're really making a whole load of vegan strides. See you in the next video.